In this video, we're going to talk about writing equations to model relationships. So we have a table of values here. It says to describe in words how the two quantities are related. So we might look for some patterns. One way that we might look for patterns is by looking at the relationship between x and y. Is there something that we are doing to x to get each y value? In this case, it doesn't seem like that's the case because, for example, if I were adding, 1 plus 8 would give me 9, but 2 plus 8 doesn't give me 12. And we can also check multiplication. 1 times 9 is 9, but 2 times 9 is not 12. So another thing that we can look for is if there is a pattern going down the y column that matches a pattern going down the x column. And this is where we find something. So if I look at this, I see that I am increasing my y value by 3 each time that my x increases by 1. So as we go from 0 to 1, my y value increases by 3. As we go from 1 to 2, my y value increases by 3. Now, what happens after that is that my x is increasing by 2, so my y value should be increasing by 6 because it's increasing by 3 twice, and in fact it is. So the pattern here seems to be that as x increases by 1, my y value increases by 3. The second question asks which equation represents the relationship between x and y, and there are some choices here. Now, in order to figure this out, one thing that I can do is test the values by plugging in the values from x and y in the table. The correct equation will work for all values. It's important to test a couple of them to make sure that it works for all of them. So for A, we have x plus 3 equals y. So looking at the first row, my values are 0 and 6. 0 plus 3 does not equal 6. So that doesn't work. For B, x plus 6 equals y. Now this one is going to work for the first row of the table because 0 plus 6 does equal 6. But if I check it on the second row of the table, x plus 6, when x is 1, y should equal 9. 1 plus 6 is only 7. So that does not work. Equation C, y equals 9x. Now this one would work for the second row, 1 and 9, because 9 equals 9 times 1. That works. But if we go back and test our first row, 6 equals 9 times 0. 9 times 0 is 0, so it doesn't work. And that brings us to equation D. Y equals 3x plus 6. Now if I plug in 6 and 0, I know that 3 times 0 is 0, and 0 plus 6 is 6. If I try the second pair, 1 and 9, 9 equals 3 plus 6. That's true. We can try the third pair as well. 12 equals 3 times 2 plus 6. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. You can also check 4 and 18 and 10 and 36. Those are all going to work out so that 3x plus 6 equals y. So D is my correct answer.